Using meth.
How many times were you using meth?
After they took my kids, I was using it on every day.
All right. And how many times were you using it before CPS even got involved in your life?
Using it.
The court, that you're just having children and allowing somebody else to support them. For example, if I were to have a child, I can't say, oh, cute baby, and then put them at Travis Park and say, good. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Angela Blick.
And are you Ms. Caballero?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, sir.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Caballero, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
The indictment?
Yes, sir.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? You're charged with the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram. That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years at the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
We just request the court waive or probate the entire fine.
All right, the court will probate the fine. Ms. Caballero, how many children do you have?
I have 7.
7? Everyone, please whisper. And what are their ages?
I have 18, 17, 16, 11, 10, 9, and a 7.
Wait, 11, 10,
9,
9.
7.
All right, and now you have a baby on the way?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're 18, 17, 16, 11, 10, 9, and 7. Where are they?
My 3 oldest are with their dad. My 10-year-old and my 9-year-old are adopted by my cousin. My 11-year-old and my 7-year-old are adopted by my brother.
So because you're saying adopted, I'm assuming there was a CPS case? And what happened with the CPS case?
I voluntarily signed over my rights.
All right, what were they asking you to do that you did not do?
I didn't comply with my house service. I needed 1 room to be completed and it wasn't completed on time. So
Child Protective Services does not have you signing away your rights because of place.
I was doing everything I was supposed to. It's just, it wasn't my house wasn't completed to get my kids back on time. So it was either the state took them or they voluntarily signed over my rights.
Child Protective Services, that's not the way it works. The way Child Protective Services works, and I would tell you, I think your attorney may have handled Child Protective. You have not?
Not many.
All right. I've handled plenty of Child Protective Services cases. And what you're telling me, that's not the way it works. You know how it works? They give you a year to get your life together to try to get your children back. And what ends up happening is you have a babysitter for free for a year. And what they want you to do is not use drugs. They want you sober. They want you to have a place for your children. They want you to be able to financially support your children. Now, if your housing is not ready, because they help you get housing.
Yes, it was just that's what it was, the placement, my housing. It was just, they said that one of the rooms wasn't completely finished because I had to rebuild my rooms.
No, let me just tell you, what you're telling me now is not true. And let me tell you why I say it's not true. Now, that may be a part of it, but that's not the whole reason, because I just told you, Child Protective Services, if you need housing for your children, guess what? They will help you get housing for your children. If there's a problem with the house where you're staying at, where maybe it's not up to code, guess what? Child Protective Services will help you get your house up to code. They do all of that. But if your house is not up to code, if you're moving a man in that you're not supposed to be moving in, and if you're still doing drugs, no, Child Protective Services is not giving your child back. And they will give you a year to get your act together. And if you have your act together within that year, but you still need a little thing, like, for example, you're telling me you need your housing, they will extend it. So the fact that all these children you have, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you don't have any of them in your custody and all of them were adopted out, that tells me not only did you not do anything within a year, and the fact that they didn't extend you, because it doesn't sound like they extended you, that means that you were not doing anything. And now you're about to have another child. Are you employed?
No,
When's the last time you had employment?
5 years ago.
I'm sorry,
5 years ago.
5 years ago. And is the father of this child the same father of your other children?
No, ma'am.
Who's the father of the 18-year-old?
His dad, Christopher
Christopher?
Solis.
So Christopher is the father of 18, 17, and 16-year-old. Who's the father of the 11-year-old?
Daniel Delaveris,
Who's the father of the 10 and 9-year-old?
the same.
And the 7-year-old?
Same.
And this child.
No, not this one.
So how often are you using meth?
Well, I was using it often when they took away my kids, but when I signed them over,
See, now this is where the dishonesty come in. I asked you, why were your rights taken away from you? And what did you tell me? Housing. And I even told you, I've done CPS cases and they don't just take it away for housing. Now you come back with, I was using when they took my children away and I signed.
after I got my kids taken from me.
Yeah.
That's when I
So,
started using meth.
How many times were you using meth?
After they took my kids, I was using it on every day.
All right. And how many times were you using it before CPS even got involved in
I
your life?
wasn't using nothing
Oh, so why did CPS get involved in your life?
because my daughter had an accident.
Which daughter?
My youngest, my 7-year-old,
What accident did she have?
she fell from the second floor balcony to down the second floor balcony under the father's watch.
Okay. So let me explain something to you. Children cannot support themselves. And it appears to the court that you're just having children and allowing somebody else to support them. For example, if I were to have a child, I can't say, oh, cute baby, and then put them at Travis Park and say, good luck to you. And that's what you've been doing with all of your children. You haven't raised a single one of them and you haven't been working. So let me just tell you, I'm gonna help you with that. And I don't know why you're getting attitude with me. You haven't raised any of your children. None of your children are with you. You have an 18-year-old, 17. Here's the thing. You have an 18-year-old, 17-year-old, 16-year-old, 11-year-old, 10-year-old, 9-year-old, 7-year-old, and none of them are with you. You're not raising them. You haven't been working. You just told me in 5 years. You haven't been financially supporting any of them. Now you have a baby on the way. But I'm going to help you with that. So I'm going to sentence her to 4 years deferred adjudication. There's going to be a TAP evaluation in custody. And she's to follow all recommendations of TAP. Other than this felony case, does she have any other felonies
Not on her, well, pending, Your Honor, or in her record.
on her record?
I believe she has one other felony.
For what?
I'm not.
Unauthorized use of a vehicle.
Okay. I know it's a state jail felony, Your Honor. She says unauthorized use.
All right. She's going to do a TAP evaluation in custody. All the recommendations will be followed. If TAP says that she's not to do inpatient treatment before she's released, we're going to come back to court and find out what treatment program she needs to be in with whatever treatment court that's available. You're going to get employment. Proof of it. And I understand if it ends up being a difficult pregnancy, which I hope it will not be,
It already is.
then we will do something about the employment. I know my mom worked until 9 months.
I know she's explained to me she's already a high risk.
All right. There's going to be proof of employment within 45 days of release. And if she can't work, then she'll need to find she need to have a doctor's excuse. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Once she's released, I'm going to want random field visits, 1 time per month until further notice. We're going to do the UA hotline until further notice. 200 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Make sure that's intensive parenting classes. And once she completes that, the community service hours will be waived. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. She is not allowed to reside in any home with minors. There's a $500 fine that will be probated. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. How far did you go in school?
I went up to the 10th grade
Why didn't you graduate?
because I was going down the route path.
Okay. And do a gang evaluation on her, please. Probation, is there anything else she needs? Anything else you need from the court?
No, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right, and did you review the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal with your attorney, and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. I know you probably say Stephanie Boyd is being hard on me, but somebody needs to be hard on you, because you just can't go through this world having children and wanting somebody else to support them. And that's what's been happening. You can't go through this world and not have employment. The only people who are allowed to not really have employment are eccentric, wealthy people, because they already have the money, but you're going to have to get a job. You can't be finding yourself now. You know the reason why you don't have time to find yourself? Because you have all these children and you continue to have more children. So it's going to have to stop. You understand?
Yeah. I do.
All right. Good luck to you. You charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 to 200 grams. That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand? In States Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor, just ask that you follow the plea bargain.
All right. Mr. Morales, do you have any children?
I do. I have one son,
What is his age?
13.
And does he live with you?
No,
Do you live with anyone?
I do not.
So you live by yourself? Apartment, home?
Next door to my mom.
I'm sorry?
Next door, and a home next door to my mother's.
Are you employed?
Not at the moment.
How long has it been since you've been employed?
A couple of years now. Since my mother had her strokes in 2021.
All right, so how are you supporting yourself?
Just by doing odd jobs here and there, just enough to get by. It's been difficult with her needing 24-hour care and not qualifying for in-home health care. It's difficult.
Okay. All right, when you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be? And just know that you're going to get drug tested today. I'm sure your attorney probably already told you that. So be honest with me.
No, I'll be positive.
What are you going to be positive for?
And that's okay.
So how often have you been using meth?
Daily, but not like huge amounts.
I'm sorry, what?
Daily? Say daily.
All right. Do you have any gang affiliation? Have you ever been to prison? For what?
Same thing. It's a possession.
I'm sorry?
Possession of methamphetamine.
All right. Is there anything else from either side? Oh, and I know it states you. Thank you.
No, Your Honor. He mentioned his mother. He is essentially her only caregiver, and that's part of why the state was kind enough to make such a generous offer so that he could continue to provide care for his mother, because it's not her fault that he has a drug problem.
But he can't be providing great care if he's using meth daily. And hopefully he's not using meth daily over his mom.
No. I mean, it's difficult to say. I don't do anything like that when I'm with her. That's what I mean. So when I drive her around, I'm not doing anything like that. So I have brothers and sisters that also try to help out, but it's mainly me that do that.
All right. So the other brothers and sisters, I'm assuming they don't have any drug problems?
No,
Do they have employment?
they do. But for me, I voluntarily slowed down to do this with her because we didn't have anybody else to
All right.
do.
They're going to have to pick someone better, because you are not in any type of shape to be caring for someone who is not at 100%.
But no, I don't think I do a bad job.
Okay. All right, this. And could you call Leo, please? All right. The court then, as previously stated, is finding you guilty. The court will sentence you to 5 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 7 years. There's a $1,000 fine that will be probated. There is to be $57 restitution to SAPD for drug testing. I'm going to want 90 meetings in 90 days, and that's sober meetings. TAP evaluation, that can be done while he's out of custody. If you miss your TAP appointment, that will be a violation of your probation. You could potentially go to prison for 5 years, or you could be looking at doing the TAP evaluation at the jail. Do you understand? Do a referral to felony drug court. There's to be 200 hours of community service restitution. I am not waiving any of those hours. I am going to require him to do parenting classes, and those hours are not to be waived without permission from the court. Usually I will waive certain hours if you complete parenting classes, but it appears that you have too much time on your hand. And what I've learned from being in treatment courts is when you have too much time on your hands, then you end up falling back into old ways, which is doing drugs. I'm going to want proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Probation, I'm going to want field visits 1 time per month. And please do a field visit at his mother's house while he's there, and also a field visit at his house to make sure that she's doing okay. So field visits 1 time per month until further notice. And we're going to do the UA hotline until further notice. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. And probation, if you want to count the field visit as a reporting, you can. How far did you go in school?
Graduation, high school.
All right, what are you planning on doing with the rest of your life?
I actually have a couple of different things going on at the moment that I'm trying to establish.
What are your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations?
Well, I have two brands that I'm working on building right now, a custom bike building and a clothing line.
All right, before you look into doing grants for that, you need to determine whether or not you're precluded from receiving those grants based upon your history before you put all that work in.
Oh, I've already been started without big grants.
Okay. All right, then if he actually does something with his hopes and dreams, then the court will consider maybe waiving some of his community service hours. But you have to develop a plan and start working that plan for the court to consider that. You understand? Probation, is there anything else he needs?
Yeah, Your Honor.
All right, is there anything else you need from the court? Show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, I do.
All right. Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. In this courtroom, in order to be successful on probation, communication is key. If you have an issue, ask probation, let them know about it. They'll try to get you the help you need. If you feel like there's an issue that they're not addressing, you can always come to the court. Do you understand? All right. And do not be that person where your mom is waiting for you, wondering where you are, and there's somebody dead in San Antonio, and it's you, because sometimes the last time you use is the last time you use. Do you understand? All right. Good luck to you. All right.